Aboard the colossal vessel sailing the cosmic sea, Zarlan the Celestial, ruler of the mighty galaxy, stood with a presence that warped the very fabric of space. His ancient and vast gaze was fixated on a holographic display of planet 826, aka Earth, the crystal blue orb soon to be the next conquest of his kind. Zarlan's species, the galaxy's cruelest planet vultures, glide through space with ruthless predatory grace. They are nomads of the void, methodically stripping planets bare and leaving behind only the echoes of lost civilizations. Without needing a permanent home, they drain one planet to shattered remnants and then move on to the next, like a relentless cosmic tide. The most brilliant part? They don't even need to soil their hands to quell the civilizations on their prey planets. All they need to do is unleash God's hand, the galaxy's most advanced disaster generator, and let nature's fury harvest the souls of each world's inhabitants. Zarlan is certain Earth will be no exception and an easy target. To him, the primitive humans dwelling on it are but fragile insects, easily crushed under the weight of a mere level 1 disaster. He plans to use simulations to pinpoint the perfect cataclysm, one that will efficiently smother humanity while preserving the planet's celestial energy. Additionally, he takes perverse pleasure in observing the local inhabitants tortured in various simulated horrors, a macabre entertainment he finds fancifully appealing. With a voice resonating with the authority of 1,000 suns, Zarlan addressed Varexis, the chief simulation officer. Varexis, Zarlan intoned, choose a level 1 disaster to commence the destruction simulations of planet Earth. Let's hope God's hand shows no mercy to those little dwarfs called humans. Varexis, whose form shimmered with the precision of the finest AI, acknowledged with a nod, their existence a harmonious blend of intelligence and technology. Panels and screens flickered to life, each depicting a different aspect of Earth's environment. Varexis's expert hands wove the scenarios, from raging storms to seismic upheavals, a testament to their skill and Zarlan's quest for dominion. My majestic galactic lord, I recommend the classic deluge test. It has proven clean and efficient on more than 50 planets. What do you think? Varexis inquired. A nice choice, albeit a bit cliché, but not a bad appetizer, Zarlan mused. As the simulator hummed on, their multifaceted eyes fixated on the many flickering screens, eager to see the grand spectacle unfold. Immediately, colossal waves and relentless rains engulfed the simulated Earth. Major coastal cities faced immediate inundation. Towering waves crashed over the Statue of Liberty, tsunamis inundating the narrow downtown Manhattan streets, turning the financial district into a turbulent sea. The Huangpu River, swollen beyond recognition, inundated the towering skyscrapers of Pudong, Shanghai, which became isolated islands in a vast, murky ocean. Colossal waves from the Arabian Sea crashed against Mumbai, the gateway of India, and the crowded streets of the city were transformed into treacherous waterways, trapping millions in a watery labyrinth. As the simulations continued, Earth was plunged into unprecedented chaos. Governments, once pillars of order and stability, crumbled under the relentless fury of nature unleashed by Zarlan's God's hand. Political leaders, overwhelmed by the scale of the catastrophe, found their power and influence eroding as swiftly as the coastlines of their countries. In major cities, now submerged under the deluge, the survivors scrambled for refuge. They climbed to the highest points they could find, the tips of skyscrapers piercing through the watery grave of what once were bustling metropolises, and the peaks of mountains and hills that had transformed into isolated islands in a vast, unforgiving ocean. From his celestial vantage point, Zarlan watched with a mixture of fascination and impatience. The humans, much to his irritation, displayed an unexpected resilience. Families clung to the roofs of their flooded homes, signaling for help that would never come. In some places, small communities formed on the highest floors of half-submerged buildings, sharing what little resources they had. Weeks passed, and Earth's situation worsened. Starvation and scarcity plagued the survivors. Once bustling urban centers like New York and Shanghai became silent, waterlogged tombs. Despite the grim reality, glimmers of hope emerged. Nations like Nepal and Bhutan welcomed refugees, while countries familiar with flooding, such as Vietnam and Bangladesh, shared their expertise in constructing water-resilient structures. Engineers worldwide collaborated to create floating cities, transforming what was once a fanciful idea into a necessity for survival. These floating cities are not just shelter, they're a new beginning on water, remarked a Dutch engineer, showcasing human ingenuity. The Tibetan Plateau, with its vastness and altitude, transformed into a new center for human civilization. Leaders from various nations gathered in Lhasa to discuss plans for a resilient future. We rebuild not just cities, but a civilization that can withstand any challenge, stated a council member from India. Humanity's spirit, undeterred by the catastrophe, shone brightly. They adapted, learned, and persevered. In the dim glow of the colossal vessel's command center, Zarlan's expression was a mix of disbelief and irritation. He had not expected this level of resistance from a species he deemed primitive. The sight of humans adapting and even thriving irked him deeply. "Phyrexis," he called out, his voice a low rumble resonating throughout the chamber. The deluge test was supposed to be their end, yet they adapt, they survive. I underestimated these humans. Phyrexis, shimmering with an ethereal light, responded with a tone of calculated neutrality. "Indeed, my lord, the resilience of humanity is unprecedented." Zarlan, his patience wearing thin, stared at Phyrexis with a stern gaze. "We need a disaster that is not only more severe, but also more insidious, something that attacks them on multiple fronts." Phyrexis, their form pulsating with a cool, calculating light, contemplated the options. "My lord, I suggest we initiate the Twin Scourges scenario. This involves unleashing a rapidly mutating airborne pathogen, coupled with a series of violent geological upheavals, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and unprecedented tectonic shifts." Zarlan's eyes gleamed with cruel anticipation. "Yes, that should suffice. Unleash it, Phyrexis. Let's see them survive this."